Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us and I am at TF Nation in the UK in Birmingham, and you can already see I'm joined with somebody very special. Funnily enough, I only met him for the first time in person not even 2 weeks ago at SDCC, and it seems crazy now that already we're here. And of course we are both huge Transformers fans, and Marcello very kindly has agreed just to answer a few questions for myself. He doesn't need any introduction, but I am going to let him introduce himself very quickly anyway.
Oh, thanks for having me.
No
on
problem
your
at all.
channel. I have a chance to talk with you at San Diego, so I know your channel, know your work. Congrats for your work.
Thank you
Congrats
very
for
much.
a follow. I enjoy UK. I'm here for 2 days. Looks like I'm here for a month because people are so welcome. So I really enjoy.
That's good.
Yeah, and then I introduce myself. I've been doing Transformer work for Hasbro for almost 20 years, doing um, freelance as package artist, as concept artist, and as illustrator. So package art was my first job for Hasbro. So the first character that I ever worked was Swindle. Swindle from Transformers Armada. So at that time, it's a short story. At that time,
it's okay.
Dreamwave was behind the schedule with all those partners, the minicons, because they are doing the main package art.
Yep.
And they saw my drawing that I had posted online. It's a Bumblebee that was matching the Dreamwave style. And they say, hey, Marcelo, the guys are just work on the main guys, but we need a lot of minicons for the packaging and also for trading cards or all the other publishing stuff. So can you work on those? Why those guys keep working? Say, yeah, sure. So they send me a test to do the Swindle. They say, hey, Marcelo, this test is approved. You're gonna use it. So
yeah.
And then I say, okay, you guys, I have time. You guys want to do more? Yeah, let's do it. And then every week I'll start asking again, asking more, ask for more. And then at some point they say, hey, Marcelo, do you want to do some concepts for toys? And I say, yes, why not? Because I was industrial designer as well. I'm not just illustrator, just artist. I had college at industrial design. I had degree as industrial designer. So
wow.
And it was funny because Aaron Archer, the guy that hired me, I use a lot of his work from Batman in my project to show how to make a comic book character to a toy. So when I show him my my project, he say, "Hey, this is mine. This is mine. This is mine." I say, "Oh, that's nice. That's great."
So how long ago was that then? As I said, that was your first footstep in with them, wasn't it?
My very first drawing was 2002.
Wow. So you see, that's
when they found me. 2002, right after Dreamwave exploded with his new style.
Wow.
And then after that, 2003 was my first concept. No, actually 2002.
Okay.
I did everything because I'm blurry because everything happened together.
Yes.
It was Dreamwave happened together, Hasbro, and then I think another couple books, and then everything came together at the same time. And then I remember they asked me to work on toys.
I'm sure again you've done. We literally just went around the dealer room, and Marcello I was pointing out to him how many he'd actually done. Like you said, all of the Studio Series 86 right up to
Bumblebee.
Right up to Bumblebee. So all of that, and again all the package art, Prime Wars trilogy, etc. So you're allowed to have a bit of a foggy memory about all the ones that you've done. And I suppose the most recent one that you guys will, I'm sure, be aware of is of course the HasLab Omega Prime. So that's of course probably is that your most recent, or you probably have a few more you can't say? I understand.
The most recently was Hasbro Pulse was showing Hasbro Pulse was the Armada.
The Void Rivals.
It was Void Rivals. There also was Nemesis Prime from Armada.
Okay, so all the artwork from that, which of course it isn't even out yet.
So I came back to Armada. I closed this cycle again. So after 20 years, I work on Armada again. So that was nice.
So that was your first one. Have you got a favorite? What's your favorite piece that you've done up to date, if you can say that?
My favorite piece, the first one was, I like it because it was how I break in. But I really enjoy to do the Dinobots.
Oh, everybody loves the Dinobots.
Yeah.
I suppose that's going to segue into my next question. So again, we've been chatting quite a bit, and ironically enough, I'm 5 days older than him.
Yeah, that's true.
So obviously, I would imagine when I ask people like this, I say, "What was your entry into Transformers? Was it G1?" And I'm sure it probably was.
Yeah, it was G1.
Generation 1.
In Brazil, because I'm Brazilian, Canada right now. I'm dual citizen. And then in Brazil, back in the days, we just had, or we have a cartoon, or comics. We have a little bit of the comics. They stopped at the number 16 because they changed publisher.
Right.
But one thing that was really big, it was the the stickers, the album stickers.
Oh yeah, the Panini album, was it the
Yeah.
Panini one? Yeah.
It was not Panini at the time, but it's
Okay.
similar. Well, because that's where I could copy the drawings, like that.
Ah,
Because we didn't stop the videos that you have to YouTube
of
nowadays.
course, yeah, yeah, yeah. Of
Back in
course.
the 80s,
It
like
had all the lines in the
yeah.
middle, and you won't be able to
So
see it.
or you have a VHS, because
Yep.
we didn't have VHS until like 80s or 88 or
Yeah, yeah,
89.
it's
So
quite
like
late on, yeah.
so the only way that I could copy or need to watch again or are comics, or when I have those stickers albums. So that's when I start copying Transformers. So
Wow.
my introduce was that we had the toys, we had
Oh,
only the mini bots.
okay, so what was your first toy? Do you remember your first
I think
Transformer
it was
toy?
a blue sedan. Blue sedan was a recolor of a Cliff Jumper
Okay.
with blue
Oh, of
colors.
course, yeah. So
Those
for
Brazilian
those of
crazy
you who don't know,
colors.
I've tried to start collecting them. So the South American
Yeah.
mini bots. So Brazil would have been Estrella. The
Yeah.
Estrella mini bot. So
Yeah.
that's a crazy rare figure right now.
Yeah, exactly.
It really is. A blue Cliff Jumper is quite rare. So that was
I
your
think
first.
it's a blue sedan, right? I
Blue,
think
so
so.
is that Bumble Jumper then? Is Bumble
Yeah.
Jumper? That's even. I've got one of them. I'll show you a
Yeah.
picture.
Oh, yeah.
I've got one. I'll
Honestly,
show you a
yeah.
picture. Yeah, I've got one of them. So yes, that was your first. What was your favorite toy as a kid? Favorite Transformer toy as a kid?
That's what I said. Like as I was a kid, we had those just the mini
Just the
bots.
mini bots.
So we also have those jumpers, start jumping. You know
Oh,
those
the twin twist, the jump starters.
the jump
They
starts. Yeah.
were called something slightly different, weren't they?
Yeah.
Saltman and
Yeah, Saltman.
so that's
because
it.
they salt because jump in Portuguese is salt,
Yes.
saltar. So
That's
it's
it.
jump.
Yeah. So again, funny
Yeah.
enough, I've got one of them on this channel.
Yeah.
It was yellow and green. They are the different.
Yeah.
So they were the different jump starters. That's a whole nother. And again, most of you watch this channel will see that I love the crazy variants anyway. So yes, search them if you want to, which is another little segue. So
we also had a lot of GoBots.
GoBots, of course.
So the GoBots, like when they have some truck, there's a red truck in the GoBots.
Yeah.
So that's what the Optimus Prime is.
That was you just called. That was your Optimus
Prime.
That's
called the Optimus back in the day.
But, brilliant. So that's some great memories from childhood. So quickly then now, don't want to keep you waiting too long. So if you were able, because I know you've done some sort of toy designs, etc. in the past, if you could if you could make a figure, even if it's been out now, what figure would you like to, really say, what's the word I'm trying to say? To put your style on it. If you could make a figure, even if the current one or a current character, what figure would you like to make or to have a hand in?
Great question. I never really thought about that, but maybe rework on Swindle. The first one that I worked the
it's
way
a full circle.
Yeah, like closing full circles. I think is nice because I was fortunate enough to work in a lot of I work a little bit on Generations, like rework on those.
Yep.
Maybe rework on that one would be nice. Like do something like make him larger or make his new Minicon version. Maybe
that's a great idea.
That would be cool.
That's a great idea. Cool. And of all the figures that are out now and all the characters that you've seen, is there, in fact, two questions? Is there, no, in fact, just the one. Which character, which figure would you really like to put your stamp on the box art with? If there was a character like I've told you, my favorite's Scorponok. I just grew up loving Scorponok. Don't get me wrong, I love Optimus Prime, I love everybody else, but for me, Scorponok's got the biggest, I suppose, imprint on my mind from a child. So if you could, which box art would you really like to have a go at doing yourself? Maybe just this is my style. Who would it be? Which character?
Which character? I like the Japanese characters.
My favorite.
Like Master Force.
Okay.
I like these ones. When I figure out like how they push the animation in a level, that I say, wow, those things are really nice.
Yeah.
I think Jinrai. Master Force.
Yeah. I say this as well. Again, it's if you've not seen it, don't worry about the dubbing, don't worry about the subtitles. Just as Marcel has just said, the animation is just fantastic.
Yeah,
and
like
as I say,
that's my main reference when I need to get pumped to draw something. I keep watching those animations because I think they are the peak in terms of the animations for G1. Like if they have a continuity, that would be like where they reach the peak, like the best animation, the best fights.
It really is. It really is. It's sensational. It's near enough early manga, isn't it? The animation is that good. The same for Victory, but I don't want to keep up and take any more time. But Marcelo's he's travelled. Do you want to get some more?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's carry on. Okay,
let's go.
That's perfect. So I had quite a few things, as I say, to ask you. So just obviously been to San Diego, which was great.
Yeah,
you've done that a few times. Sorry, is that your favorite convention?
Yeah, that's my favorite convention. Like this. My first time, so I'm probably gonna like this one too. But San Diego is kind of special. Like this was when I meet everyone that I know in the business. So it's
Yep.
kind of here I'm gonna meet fans more Transformers focused, but like I know San Diego is kind of there's a charm on that convention that is quite different. Like the city embrace the convention embrace the city, so
That's it.
like you feel the convention even after night. So
He's correct.
that's
What
crazy.
he's correct. So there's a couple of things I think he was trying to relate to. So in the UK for us, obviously we've got TF Nation, which is Transformer related, but obviously we've got the MCM Comic Con, which is a bit like San Diego
Yeah.
Comic. It's everything all in one. And I think, as I've said in one of my videos, and again, Marcelo is just confirming, the San Diego Comic Con vibe, it's like they shut blocks down, they shut all the streets down, people are in the street. It's a bit like a Mardi Gras. It's a bit like a Mardi Gras with like a New Year's Eve party rolled into one.
Exactly.
Because the streets are full, but of course it's with the better weather. You've got a bay on the one side, you've got the sea, you've got everything. It's, again, I would strongly recommend anybody to.
And you have the parties happening all the way on the streets, and then people dress until midnight, late hours. So it's crazy. Like it's like sometimes you pump with some comic book artists that you're from. Like one day I was having dinner, like late dinner, and then all of a sudden Rob Liefeld, Robert Kirkman, and Jeff Lobb, those they come out from I say, oh, can I take a picture with you guys? Like like I was being the fan.
I was
geeking out. I was the fanboy. I say, hey, can I take a picture with the guys? Yeah, sure, let's come here.
Which, funnily enough, obviously you've just done a Void Rivals cover as well, haven't you? So, which again, let's talk about the comics then. So obviously I'm not asking you to give her anything you can't say, but I presume there's potential maybe for more sort of Skybound work with that.
I'm not working directly with Skybound. I work through retail. That I can do some exclusive covers, but one thing that I'm trying to do on the exclusive cover is try to do something different than the other artists. I try to bring more the fan size. So like doing homage to the packaging, like transformation sequence. Things sometimes you don't see very often, like in the comics, but you saw in the packages back in the days.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you spun the top of the box, didn't you? Where you'd have the step.
I like to show the steps. So if you guys see some of my new sketchbooks, I put one of those like. We have a step like a transformation sequence. Even some commissions, I try to play around more with that. So I try to bring this. Since I did a lot of stuff with packaging, I try to make a homage to the 80s package.
So you, as I say, you managed to. I've admitted this a few times, and it's totally true. So when I got to like my late teens and my like 20s, I veered away slightly, but obviously you wouldn't have been able to. You obviously continued because by the time you got to your early 20s, you were designing packaging for obviously Armada. So there was never really Transformers hasn't been in your life then? I don't think. You've always been interested or doing things with it?
Like I never planned it. That's the thing. I never planned to do that. The thing happens to me. So like it's jumping over me. So I have to do something. So that's the thing.
That's
and
it.
Like that's
so just real quickly one again then. So what's your favorite then? Obviously, so you grew up with G1. Your first suppose entrance into the business was obviously during 2002. So that was Unicron Trilogy. Was it just before
Armada?
Armada, of course,
It was Armada.
And of course, you've done loads of work with the Prime Wars trilogy, and now with all the studio series. So, could you pick a favorite, or is it just the fact, a bit like us, we just like everything? Which would be your, I suppose, two things: favorite that you've worked on, and favorite that you just enjoyed.
There's a lot. I've worked a lot of different packaging, so I had to develop style for some package. I had to be part of a pitching to develop style. So like for example, I work on Transformers Universe, the 2008 version. So I had to develop the style for that. One that I'm really proud of that I remember right now. I work on Marvel Transformers crossover.
Yes.
Because that was the first time that I had to design the toys, that I helped to design their first Marvel Transformers toys. And then when I say I helped to design, I came up with the early concepts. And then they have a whole team behind that. I did not do the engineer, but just come up with the first concepts that guide through that. And then I did that one. And then I remember that after I did that one, the guy said, hey, Marcello, now we want you to do the packaging for that. So can I do a few studies like with different kind of colors? So I had to do that. And then they choose the style, but they ended up finding another vendor. They say, hey, Marcelo, I want to do the pencils because I like the style. You do the character.
Yep.
You want other guy doing the colors the same way they do with comics.
Yep.
They want an artist to do one thing that he does the best, and other artists to do the best, and then they keep things rolling.
Brilliant.
So that's what happens with, for example, 86. It's Studio Volta.
Yep.
that do the colors. It's a Canadian studio that does a lot of concepts for video games, so they do most of the colors for.
Fantastic. So obviously, where can people? I've obviously got you on Instagram, but for the people who are watching, where can they see some of your work? So is it just your name? Would you like to...
just my name. If you have a brand new website that it's called marcellomatere.com.
I'll put the link to that and his Instagram and what else? What other platforms?
All my social medias under my name, my full name, Marcelo Matere. So anything like X, Blue Sky, Instagram. Instagram, it's the ones that are more active.
Instagram is the one.
Instagram.
So you'll see lots of his work on there, and throughout the weekend I'll get a decent video again of his stall of some of his work. I've already got some things from him, so that's how you can keep up with him. And I really appreciate you jumping on board with this. No, thank you guys. Thanks for watching, guys. And I say all the links for Marcello's stuff will be in the video description. Thank you very much, guys. Take care.